Many of our clients involved in the manufacturing process often find it challenging to understand if their process is treated for VAT as a supply of goods or services. Depending on the arrangement between the parties, this can be very challenging for clients to determine the correct VAT treatment. My name is Michelle Lang, and today I'm joined by Ryan Devaney, a senior manager in our consulting team, and Nazar Zaidi, a director in our tax technology team, who have been working with our clients for many years in helping them understand the VAT issues and how to manage it through Meridian's SAP solution. Ryan, firstly, if we come to you, if you could maybe talk us through some of the VAT issues around toll manufacturing process.
Absolutely, Michelle. Yeah, so first of all, maybe if we just define exactly what we're referring to here. So typically when we're talking about toll manufacturing, it's usually the process of having a principal company move their goods to a toll manufacturer. And interesting from a VAT perspective, usually that toll manufacturer might be located in another jurisdiction, so in another member state, for those goods to be worked on, processed, created into a finished good, and for those finished goods then to be delivered either back to the same warehouse of the principal company, or perhaps even sold from the location of the toll manufacturer, or held in a storage location in another member state. So that's kind of a classic toll manufacturing setup. In terms of the VAT perspective, so what do we have going on here? Well, we have the principal company moving their own goods that they will always own, be in possession of. The toll manufacturer, as we know, only acting in terms of providing services or processing services of some description on those goods, and the principal company then moving or purchasing goods into the member state and moving those or selling those out. So there's a lot of transactions there for the principal company to be aware of. They've got movements of own goods, intra-community movements, the reporting aspects of that to deal with. And then at the same time, they're purchasing a service from the toll manufacturer. And I think this is where challenges can arise, because we see a lot of different manufacturing arrangements, and always the question that a lot of our clients are asking is the supply by the toll manufacturer services or is it goods? And, you know, classically, a toll manufacturing setup, it's going to be a supply of services. However, the way that the contracts, the way that the packing lists, even the invoicing, the whole arrangement is composed, and as we look at how the system is composed, it will often look like a goods treatment. And that can have an impact for the principal company in terms of, well, misreporting of, let's say, the purchase transaction. But moreover, it can also affect the VAT reporting of the whole supply chain. If you have that toll manufacturer wrongly classified as making a sale of goods, you know, your subsequent sale of goods might then take place in the wrong jurisdiction. You've got misreporting and potential exposures with the tax authorities as a result. So I think a key challenge for sure is classifying correctly that manufacturing service.
Thanks, Ryan. And as Ryan said, Nazar, it can be quite complicated because you do have movements of goods and then you also have services being provided. So maybe you can talk us through how Meridian handles these issues for clients.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Michelle. So it's exactly as Ryan mentioned. From a system perspective, it can often look like we are perhaps making a purchase of finished goods when in reality we're receiving a toll manufacturing service. So for the purposes of this example, we have a couple of POs set up here, and we'll just have a look at this first PO. Here we can see a German vendor. So that is our German toll manufacturing vendor. We're making a purchase into our Belgian company code, and we're asking them to work on some goods that, as you say, we will have provided to them. And then once they've worked on them, they're going to provide us back finished goods and send that to our Belgian stock plant. So here you can see a standard PO created, and this is what often our clients will see. It looks, to all intents and purposes, from a systems perspective, as if we're just making a purchase of finished goods. Now we do have another PO created here, and before we go into Miro and see how Meridian determines that determination, and we're just going to show there's one small difference here. This is an area where we can leverage off standard SAP functionality. if we go into the item categories, SAP actually has a standard item category for subcontracting. So just for this particular PO, we've actually maintained that item category as an L. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to process these two different POs. So we'll just process the first one, and we'll just see how Meridian functionality determines the VAT on this. So this is that first one, and there is no item category suggesting that this is subcontracting. So as we do the determination here, Meridian is going to determine a number of different things. It determines that the VAT ID of the vendor is German, which is correct because we have a German vendor. It shows that we're actually now going to be reporting this in Belgium. And based on that, it determines a tax code automatically. Now, if we drill down here, you see that the tax code is an acquisition VAT tax code. So again, from a systems perspective, it really looks like we're just making a purchase of goods. Now, what we're going to do here is we're just going to make a small amendment so that we actually process the second PO. And this was the PO where we had the item category correctly set up. So now we're going to do a new redetermination of the tax code. And here we can see now that the VAT code has been updated to a different tax code. If we drill down, we see that we're actually now receiving services. So what Meridian is doing there, it's leveraging off a standard SAP parameter of item category. And that's just one example. Some of our clients could be using other characteristics or parameters such as account assignment or GL account, etc. But it's a really good example of a scenario where the system is trying to show us one thing, but through Meridian functionality, we can get the correct VAT determination based on what's actually happening.
Okay, thanks, Nazar. Thanks, Ryan. I think it's, while it is very challenging for businesses, they really do need to understand the differences between the actual process so that VAT is classified correctly, but also they need a solution that's robust and flexible to manage these issues for them also. That's it for today. If you'd like more information on the Meridian solution, please contact us at meridianglobalservices.com.